What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Toonrami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Alright guys, this video is about choosing sides. Are you Team UUB or are you Team King Cold and MECHA FRIEZA? These are the two latest units to be hitting the virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash shop, battlefield shop, and they're both very expensive. So you only get so much currency to go around, so the purpose of this video is to help you make a more informed decision. After seeing the information that I will present on the two units, you can hopefully have a better understanding of which one will be more suited for you and which one is worth skipping on. Now, a few ground rules, a few conditions. The number one thing is, this is my own opinion. I will be presenting facts, such as their passive skills, their abilities, their super attacks and whatnot, but ultimately, the judgment is up to each person. And in this video, I am giving my own opinions on the two units and which one I personally would prefer. So feel free to disagree or agree, let me know in the comments, but I just want to be clear that this is my opinion. And also I'm going to set a few ground rules to kind of even the playing field. The thing about these Dokkan Clash units is that sometimes they're not always available in the amount that we want. For example, the Ginyu Goku, the Tech LR Ginyu Goku, you can't buy all 5 of them in the Dokkan Clash shop. You have to unlock one of them in a different event. So because of that, and because of other factors, I want to keep everything on a level playing field, so here are the ground rules. 5 copies will be available for both in the shop. 150k will be the amount that you earn each Dokkan Clash that you participate in, because sometimes it can vary, sometimes it can be 150, sometimes it can be 156, it can fluctuate depending on how many enemies are available. So we're going to set the standard at 150,000. We're also going to say that the Dokkan Clash refreshes every month. Sometimes it takes longer than a month, sometimes it takes 18 days. It varies. So because of that, we're going to set the average out at 1 month. So once a month, you can earn 150k battlefield memory. And once again, to be clear, this is just my opinion. So without further ado, let's get into the thick of it. First, let's meet the contestants. Number 1 is LR Tech UUB. He is the Resurrected Warriors leader, Ki +3 attack and defense and HP plus 100%. And I will go into detail about the rest of his stats in just a second. But he is a super Resurrected Warriors category lead. He also has a transforming mechanic, which is cool. So UUB transforms into Majub. And here is the other contestant, King Cold and MECHA FRIEZA. This one has not hit global yet. It will hit global in about a couple months probably. And he is a Wicked Bloodline category lead. Ki +3 attack and defense and HP plus 100%. More information will be presented later on. So these are the two guys that we're looking at. So now let's see how we're going to judge these two units. Well, we have 5 categories: leader skill, super attack, passive skill, link skills, and price. When I say price, I'm not talking about cost. Cost is the amount that the unit would occupy in your team cost. So that is not what I'm referring to. Price is everything else. What does it cost you in every other facet of the word? So these 5 categories will be the ones that we compare the two, and the winner will have to have 3 out of the 5 in order to take the victory. So let's get started with the leader skill first. As I mentioned, the two are category leads in their own right, both providing Ki +3 and 100% across the board. For the Resurrected Warriors, there are currently 2 pay-to-play category leaders on global, Int Golden Frieza and LR Tech Broly. There is no free-to-play category leader at this time for Resurrected Warriors. LR UUB would be the first. Now, if you happen to recall, there is an AGL Frieza that drops for one of the Dokkan events. He is technically a category lead, but I don't consider him one because of the fact that he does not cover the same parameters that I would consider an actual category leader to do. For me, a category leader provides Ki, HP attack, and defense, but this free-to-play Dokkan drop unit, AGL Frieza, only gives Ki and HP and attack, I believe. And that too, the stats are very, very low. It's practically negligible. So for that reason, I do not count that unit as one of the category leaders. So 2 pay-to-plays, 0 free-to-plays for Resurrected Warriors. For Wicked Bloodlines, we currently have 1 pay-to-play category lead, that is the AGL Metacooler, And we have 2 free-to-play category leads. One is the STR Metacooler from the story event. The other one is a Dokkan Clash Battlefield reward. Now, he's not technically labeled an extreme or a wicked bloodline category lead, but he's a pseudo one because he is an extreme class, Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 70%. Every wicked bloodline unit is an extreme class, so for that reason he is a pseudo category lead and I count him in that category. So Resurrected Warriors has 2, Wicked Bloodline has 3. You can make the judgment call for yourself. I will make my judgment call at the end, just to add some suspense. Now, on to super attack. Both of these units have a 12 key super that does colossal damage and lowers attack. Awesome ability. You can debuff your opponent while severely damaging them. For UUB, his ultra super does mega colossal damage and will either lower attack, or if he transforms, his ultra super will greatly lower attack. So it focuses on the debuff perspective and amplifies it. For the ultra super on King Cold and MECHA FRIEZA, it does mega colossal damage as well as provides a 30% attack bonus for the extreme class allies for 2 turns, not just 1, but 2 turns. That is rare. One of my favorite support units, which is the free-to-play LR Saiyaman, has a similar ultra super. So it has saved me quite a few times in Super Battle Road having a second turn of a stat boost like that. Now on to passive skill. For passive skill, this one is a little tougher to make a judgment call on, but let's go over both of them anyway. For UUB, before the fusion, attack and defense will max out at 90%. The more HP you have, the greater the stat boost. Once he hits 40% HP or below, he will fuse with Boo and become Majub. That happens only once, and when he does transform, he heals only 40%. He does not fully heal like a Gogeta fusion or a Potara fusion. He only heals 40%, but then his attack and defense remain at 100% no matter what. So instead of losing your stat boost as your health dwindles, your stat boost will remain at 100% whether you're at 90% health or 9% health. So that's great. He also has an orb changing ability, randomly changes key spheres to a certain type to rainbow spheres, plus an additional key +2 per key sphere obtained. Rainbow sphere obtained. So that's great. It helps him get his ultra super much better. It'll also help your other teammates, be they Super Saiyan 3 Goku that benefits from these rainbow orbs. So that's a good passive skill. For the King Cold and MECHA FRIEZA, attack plus 126% and defense plus 60 is the most that you can attain while having that passive skill, because if you have other Wicked Bloodline allies on your team, your bonus increases by 60% from the base 66%. So his attack stat will go higher than the Majub if you have enough teammates, and typically you would. If your category leader is a Wicked Bloodline, then chances are your teammates are also going to be under the Wicked Bloodline category, which means this is all but given. This is basically a given that you're going to have 126% attack boost. Your defense is a little bit lacking, but you have more firepower. And if you're fighting a Super Saiyan enemy, you gain another 9 ki, which means an Ultra Super is basically imminent, which means more stat boosts for your teammates all around, which is fantastic. Link skills. I didn't list out the actual link skills themselves. I listed out the results of the link skills, the stats that they alter. So for UUB pre-fusion, you get a ki +4, attack plus 10%, plus 7,500 when he's attacking with a super attack, defense plus 20%, along with plus 1,500. Enemy defense reduces by 10%. After he fuses, his ki remains the same, but his attack goes up considerably. He goes from 10% to 35%, as well as a 5,000 attack increase when he's using a super attack. His defense goes up to 30%, and after he attacks an enemy, their defense reduces by 15%. So that's a significant change. For King Cold, MECHA FRIEZA, their ki is ki +4, attack plus 40% plus 5,000 attack when using a super, and their defense increases by 1,500. So if you're noticing here, UUB is focused more on balance, whereas King Cold is focused on support and overall destructive power. Now the price. they're both insanely expensive. Neither one can be obtained from one single run of a Dokkan Clash, like the Meta Cooler was. The Meta Cooler cost 150,000, which means you had to complete all the enemies in Dokkan Clash, and you were guaranteed at least one unit. Here, you have to do it. You have to be playing the long game. You have to play 2 Dokkan Clashes to get either one of these units. UUB costs 250,000 Battlefield Memory. King Cold Mecha Frieza costs 300,000. In order to rainbow them, you would need 5 of them, obviously. So you multiply both by 5, and you get 1,250,000 for UUB and 1,500,000 for Mecha Frieza and King Cold. It would take 9 months, aka 9 Dokkan Clashes for UUB, and it would take 10 months or 10 Dokkan Clashes to rainbow King Cold and Mecha Frieza. So both are going to take an obscene amount of time. Now let's compare. We finally have all the information that we need, and going head to head, these are the decisions that I made. As far as leader skills are concerned, I went with UUB because there simply is not a Resurrected Warriors category leader that is free to play, let alone that is a super-based category leader. So I thought the versatility in that regard gives the edge to UUB. Unfortunately, after that, that's where the advantage ends and King Cold takes over, because the super attack, I'm a huge fan of the super attack that King Cold does because he has more utility in his super attack. Not only can he debuff the enemy, but he can also boost the attack of his own allies. And having a more versatile attack arsenal is more useful than having a one-trick pony, if that makes sense. So King Cold takes that one. The passive skill, I could not make a decision on. Both are very useful. Both have really nice applications in the right situations, and it was very hard to differentiate and separate one from the other. Link skills, I had to go with King Cold and Mecha Frieza, because again, it's about the destructive force. It's about being able to overwhelm your opponent. When you're on a team, if you have a Wicked Bloodline team and you have a Resurrected Warriors team, it's pretty easy to tell that a Wicked Bloodline team would probably be more cohesive, because the only Wicked Bloodline units that there are basically everyone in the Frieza family. Therefore, the key links will be a lot better. They will work a lot better with each other than, let's say, Resurrected Warriors, where UUB is paired up with a Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. They have nothing to do with each other. So, chances are the key links won't add up as much. And especially when UUB transforms to Majub, he differentiates himself even more, making the key links maybe a little bit harder to connect with other units in the Resurrected Warriors category. So for link skills, I gave the edge to King Cold and Mecha Frieza. Price. Both take an insane amount of time. So if you want to rainbow either one, you are in it for the long haul and you have decided that you are going to commit. So if you're going to commit and you're 9 months in, it's not the worst thing in the world to wait 1 more month. The trade-off isn't that bad, and the reward is quite a lot. So for that reason, I gave the price also to King Cold and Mecha Frieza. So at this point, it's basically a landslide. I'm going with King Cold and Mecha Frieza. So I had to give a little bit of consolation to UUB, because UUB is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, and this was very painful to actually objectively make these decisions. So the anime connection, I had to give that one to UUB, because when you look at these two units in their heyday in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball GT, UUB had a much better time than King Cold and Mecha Frieza. King Cold and Mecha Frieza's arc lasted, I believe, 2 episodes or 3 episodes, and they were done. And it was very funny how quickly they were disposed of. UUB had some excellent moments, had some key moments, had some pivotal moments in Dragon Ball GT. He fought Baby several times, he went up against Shadow Dragons. He's just a human. I don't know, actually, he is a human, but he is the reincarnation of Kid Buu. Either way, he had much more awesome moments in the show. So for that reason, I gave the anime connection bonus to UUB. So there you have it. Once again, the winner is King Cold for me, and I feel really bad because I love UUB, but I was trying to be fair. And unless you're the type that just needs to have everything, at least one of everything, then this would not apply to you at all. But if you're somebody who needs to have the best units that you could possibly get, I feel like this is a fair assessment. of the two units and which one would take the priority over the other. Both are obviously useful, both are obviously great. They're solid free-to-play units, but in the end, the edge has to go to King Cold MECHA FRIEZA, just because of everything that we mentioned earlier on. So if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I really want to know what you think. If there's anything that I mentioned that was incorrect, or you agree with, or you disagree with, maybe you didn't think of something, let me know in the comments. I would love to know what your thoughts are. And once again, these are just my opinions, so if I angered you, please don't take offense. These are just my thoughts. If you are a diehard UUB fan, I apologize. I like UUB too, if it means anything. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content in the future. I'm going to be doing a lot more Dokkan. The 4-year anniversary is just about to hit part 2, so we got a whole lot more in store. Once again, thank you so much. Stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.